Sean and Joe, another episode ready to go. They're gonna talk about the good and the trash and anything in between. Cherishing make-believe, get ready for Halloween. It's the horror show. I know you missed those guys. Tune in and find out what's on their list tonight. They butcher and dissect, take apart and mutilate. Listen to your two favorite brainiacs communicate. It's the horror show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Horror Show, the show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not-so-favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
Happy 4th of July, Joe.
Yes, sir. Same to you.
We have a movie that I want to say like top 5 most requested movies.
Since we've started.
Yeah, since we've started. People want this movie more than anything, and I get it now. I fucking get it. But it's weird because you only have so many. I mean, you have one day. Well, I guess you could do it on Memorial Day and shit too, but you basically have a couple days a year where you could do it, and sometimes it doesn't fall in line with the schedule and stuff. But this year we were able to watch it, and we're recording it the day after 4th of July because I got too drunk on 4th of July to record. Dude, it's probably maybe top 3 drunkest I've ever been in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird shit. But
you got to come over the day before the 4th and see my dad in full action.
See your dad in action. He assured me that you had poison ivy, which you don't. And not only do you not have it, but the area he claimed was filled with poison ivy was verified by multiple people to not have poison ivy.
And he still argued it.
And he also said he knew what was buried beneath the dirt, which he didn't. Because he
First off,
it was
nothing
under the earth.
First off, there's nothing buried. And what he was claiming was just something you could see visibly. That it was within eye shot.
He kept calling it
wine. Yeah, well, what's this? Yeah, it's been there since we moved in, and we've known about it since we moved in. It's a fucking old fence that the previous owner threw back there because it was covered by bushes, which I had just torn out, which that's what he was upset about, that I didn't do anything with that.
Right.
Which I did the day before.
And by the way, he was super excited to work on. So when he later claims how miserable he is doing it for you, that day he took me aside and was like, I can't wait to get my hands on this.
But that's the fucking thing. All he does is complain about the amount of work that my house has for him to do, which I've never asked him to do ever. But when he comes over, he just finds all these projects that he proclaims he's going to work on. He told you he was going to rip up my sidewalk because it was a hazard. There's only one fucking idiot in the world that would possibly trip over my sidewalk, and it's him. Claiming it's not safe for kids. There was 7 kids over running back and forth through it, and not one of them tripped.
Not a single one tripped on it. That's what I was just about to say. 7 of maybe the 7 clumsiest children, some of them because they're very young, 4 and under, running all over this, chasing each other, and none of them even remotely tripped. And he came up to me again and was like, fucking piece of fucking shit. And I was like, oh, what? And he was like, this fucking sidewalk, we gotta fucking tear this thing up. It's unbelievable. I was like, oh yeah, no, I didn't notice. Because seems fine.
Our friend Dana, I saw yesterday at another party, and she was like, yeah, your dad kept coming up to me and complaining that you didn't blow off the grass good enough.
Oh my God.
Well, you're not the fucking only one, because he was doing that to Sean too. And also, it was raining, and second, did anyone have grass stuck to them other than him? I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
Joe, there was no grass stuck to his feet. I looked at his... when he approached me about it, he was like, this fucking guy didn't even blow the fucking grass. And I was like, wait, what? And I looked down. His shoes were fine. My shoes were fine. And I was like, oh. And then I started looking around the grass to see if I even saw any. And I barely did. There was one area where I saw some grass because, when you mow your lawn, that's going to happen regardless. And I was like, yeah, I think this is fine. And he was so fucking miserable about the grass not being blown. Oh my God, it was fucking nuts. He was something else. And then you missed it, but So Joe gave him and we've discussed that he's not a drinker. He's not an anythinger.
Correct.
And you gave him a fucking White Claw, which he, like, if you take a White Claw down fast, like, especially if you're not drinking, like, it's definitely going to give you, like, a head rush. Like,
sure.
And he took it down really quick and was like, I think I'm feeling this right now.
And then you claimed he had a headache. Yeah. Then you and I found him later by himself spraying my hose into nothingness. Just like turning my hose on, spraying, not even spraying it at a bush or a flower, just spraying it in some, like,
also it was
in a direction with nothing. Yeah.
It had been raining all day. Everything was already wet.
Fucking idiot.
But we were sitting, it was me, your brother, and your mom, and he just like comes up to us and he was like, I need a goddamn cup of coffee. This alcohol is and his mom's like, okay. And he went and made coffee for himself. Like he was hungover.
He's such a jabroni, man. Then he came over today because Shay had dance class, so we didn't bring Logan. So first off, I asked my mom to come, but of course he came as well. I'm just joking. Like, he loves seeing my kids, so I can't take that away from him. But he came, and then as soon as like we come back, he's like, "Yeah, so I was in your basement, and I found, like, I think the gas line runs under your driveway." He's like, "So we got to dig that up and see where it's going."
What?
I'm not doing that. Like, why? He's like, "Well, why would they run it to the driveway if the meter's in the front of the house? That makes no sense." I'm like, I honestly couldn't possibly care less about any of this right now. Like, and then he called me after he left the house, and like Logan's crawling in my lap, and like it was like the worst time that I could possibly talk. He's like, "Ugh, catch you at a bad time?" I'm like, yeah, actually you did. He's like, listen, later I need you to go under your sink and see if you can move some of the pipes and see if you can see the gas pipe that goes out to the driveway.
Oh my god! What?
I'm not fucking doing that. Are you kidding me?
Also, you know damn well he's gonna end up hiring somebody that's gonna come to your house and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, this doesn't go into the driveway."
Yeah, of course.
They're gonna be like, he's looking at the fucking septic line or the like sewer line.
One of his closest friends is a plumber who already, like, they changed all my pipes to PEX. They changed all of it. So he already asked him to come back and identify some of, like, old pipes that they didn't take out, so like we can cut them. Just fucking ask him. Like, I don't, even though he can still identify pipes and be like, yeah, this probably runs over to here. Like, you're kidding me? The guy's coming back in 3 weeks.
He's gonna be like,
dig up my driveway.
There's 100%. They're gonna be like, yeah, there's no fucking, the gas pipe runs this way. Like, there's no fucking gas pipe under your drive. Fucking ridiculous. He's fucking great. But yeah, he does. I don't
know if you noticed, I have a plate in my driveway because that's where like the drain pump is.
Yeah,
for, like, the city.
Yeah.
And they threw a plate over it. And as he was leaving, he was trying to like pry it open and lift it up to see if the gas. I'm like, just fucking go home.
Which, by the way, his plumber told you, do not let him touch that.
That is true. That is true.
They were like, do not let your dad do anything with that.
So I got all new piping, but like the water main, the main one, I have the insurance for it. So if something happens, like, it's covered by the city. But there's still there's a shutoff valve that they put that I can control.
Yeah.
But there's like one that's on the actual water main, and it's almost 100 years old. It's fucking ancient. And the guy is pointing out to my dad, he's like, yeah, we're gonna put a new like shutoff there. He's like, this one is so old, like it's gonna strip real easily. And my dad bends down to like turn it, and the guy's like, don't fucking touch that. Like, don't fucking touch that. It's almost 100 years old. You're gonna pop it right off. And my dad looks at him right in the eyes, like, oh no, it'll be fine, and just starts turning it. And the guy's like honestly pulling his hair out of his head, be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we're gonna have a huge mess on our hand.
But yeah, he does. He loves your son so much that it's almost insane because, we know the stories of you as a kid. And like, you'll be like, you'll say is something like, what is Logan doing? And he'll be like, relax, Joe, he's fine. And I watched Logan flip 2 chairs and he was like, oh, look at that kid. And I was like, dude, if little Joe had done that, he wouldn't be allowed at the party anymore. He'd be fucking taken home.
Complete fact. Complete fact.
But he's like, Jesus Christ, Joe, take it easy on the fucking kid.
Dude, he did that. When we were staying at the house, my mom's name's Maureen. When we were staying at the house, Logan had something that he shouldn't have, so my mom took it out of his hands. He started crying, and he's like, "That's just great, Maureen. That's just freaking great." Like, he should be crying. Dude, he's not fucking supposed to.
Blaming your mom. Oh fuck! Well, it was a great party, and I was nice to see you and do the show, and then I went home and I watched Uncle Sam.
Nice.
Uncle Sam was made in 96, I believe.
96.
96. It is, well, actually, I had a couple things, actually.
By our guy, William Lustig. Old Billy Lustig.
Which, like, okay, so, like, I know old Billy Lustig. He's he's like a name, right? You hear the name and you're like, that's cool.
Yeah, Maniac Cop, Maniac
Cop, right? Those were the two that came to my mind. And then I was like, wait, what the fuck else has this guy done? Interesting, what would you say? Filmography for this guy. So he directs Maniac in 1980. By the way, he doesn't write any of his movies. He's like strictly a director, which is always interesting to me. Like when you start that way, like I feel like I don't want to say most, but probably most directors probably write their first movie, right?
Yeah, it seems like that would be the case.
Because, like, you're like, no one's going to be like, here's my baby that I wrote. You unknown person can direct that for me. Like, they don't want to take that chance, So, but he did. He got Maniac, which was written by Joe Spinell, which I fucking forgot about, which was nuts. So he does that. Then in 82, he directs Vigilante, which...
Wait, Joe Spinell wrote Maniac?
Yes. It's credited, when you like first search it, it's credited to this other guy, but he just turned Joe Spinell's story into a screenplay. And even Joe Spinell worked on the screenplay also. So I don't know why that guy's name pops up. I'd be fucking furious. But Joe Spinell wrote that. And then he goes on and he directs Vigilante, which also Fred Williamson from Black Caesar, man. He's so fucking good. And Joe Spinell is also in it. And Robert Forster, who's also in this movie, is in Vigilante. By the way, Vigilante sounds fucking over the top and awesome. Like
we should do it.
We should. Vigilante. We should. Although, hey, listen, Joe, we've gotten some.
I was waiting for it, man.
We've gotten some notes we've got some very, what would you call it? Constructive criticism to change the name of the show because we decided to do, fucking 2 action movies last episode.
Right. So usually I don't acknowledge these because like, I don't care.
Yeah.
For every bad feedback that we get, like we get hundreds of great feedback, and like I mean this sincerely, like our fans are like the greatest. Like we have such a supportive fan base, beyond my wildest imagination. So I usually don't like to like harp on negative ones, but this guy was like, I mean, he leaves us a message that's like, this is such a fall from grace. Like you guys are a shell of what you used to be. You should really consider changing your name. A couple things here. One, he commented on that on the last week of Maddie vs. D'Amato, which we just did 4 weeks of pure horror, which is like the most we've done in a fucking long time. So what the fuck are you talking about? And second, giving us a suggestion about changing our name, we fucking suggested that. We have said that numerous times that we should be changing our name. We said that before we even came back. For the end of the first run, we threw that out there. So go fuck yourself, you stupid idiot.
It was wild. It was really wild because it's true. It was I did the math. I looked up every one because it was like, okay, so we did a total of 5 weeks or 6 weeks. I can't remember. Yeah, 6 because we did 12 fucking movies. We did 12 fucking movies in 6 weeks. Fucking
exclusively genre films.
8 of them. 8 of them pure fucking horror. Pure horror. 2 of them definitely horror adjacent because you're talking about movies that were like because like, you know, when, like, what horror fan doesn't love Predator? And like, it's kind of horror. We've had these conversations before where it's like, that's like basically horror. It's a fucking monster, right?
Agreed.
So that week is a Predator ripoff and like an Alien ripoff or something like that. It doesn't matter. It's like horror fucking adjacent. People's limbs were flying off. And then the fucking 1 week he's talking about was the fucking, I don't even know what the last two movies. Oh, it was the Commando ones, which is fucking hilarious. Like, and like, by the way, all of your fucking horror movie, like, distributors, like Vinegar Syndromes and shit like that, they're the ones releasing this shit. Like, it's all, like, under this weird, like, cult movie fucking umbrella. Like, it might as well be, right? Dude, fucking Commando,
That's why we wanted to do movies like this in the first place. Like,
right.
like our buddy Larry from Connecticut Cult Classics.
Oh, yeah.
He hosts double features all the time. Mostly horror, but he'll throw in like Lady Terminator, or he's done Predator, because
they're fucking
mostly they double dip. The fan bases double dip.
Yeah,
like that complaint is completely absurd. But the most I'm mad about is being like, well, you guys should change your name. Fuck you. We know that. We said that from day one. You're a fucking idiot.
Also, would it make you happier for us to change? Would you, if we changed the name to like Sometimes Cult Movies, would you be like, oh wait, now I can watch, now I can listen to this, now this makes sense, now I feel like listening to this is good. Okay.
Now it's back to the old days.
Oh shit! And then like we're getting this comment while we're watching fucking Uncle Sam, and it's like, okay, all right, fair enough, buddy. All right. But anyway, that was fucking funny as fuck. Anyway, so I don't even know how I segued into that or segued out of it. But yeah, so so fucking something. I said Robert Forster and we somehow got onto that. But Robert Forster's also in Uncle Sam. So.
Oh, no, because we said we should do Vigilante.
Oh, yes. And, like, again, super fucking adjacent. Like, it's going to be fucking weird. It's going to be fucking bizarre.
A well-known horror director made Vigilante.
Right.
So why would we not do it?
Right. It's fucking odd. I feel like there's, like, maybe less Maddie and D'Amato love than there should be, which is funny because I feel like they were recommended a lot to us when we didn't do them. So... Don't know what to tell you guys. You want Italian horror? Guess what? We're not going to do fucking Suspiria. So you're going to have to deal with Buio Omega. So anyway, that was super fun. We've got new fall I don't want to claim anything too soon, but we've got some designs coming for our fall merch drop. And if you didn't like those episodes, you can just probably not buy these fucking merch. Or you can. Fucking, I'm gonna fucking sell it to fucking Vinegar Syndromes. Fucking let them. Because I think they'd fucking sell that shit in a heartbeat.
Go for it.
So, he directs Vigilante, which, you know, why does he call himself a horror director? He should change the name of that. But 6 years later, he does Maniac Cop. Which is a long time, long span between Maniac and Maniac Cop. And pretty sure this is what ends his career because it only makes $500,000 in the box office. And then after that, he does some like Hollywood like schlock, which it's like Hit List and this movie Relentless. And Relentless actually made some like box
Relentless
office.
Is good.
Relentless is good. It made some money. It made some money too. But just seemed like not enough to resurrect the career. So he goes back to Maniac Cop 2 and 3, and then that's it. And then he does this movie, The Expert, that he directed, but requested he be uncredited for. Never a good sign. But and then Uncle Sam is his last movie that he ever does.
Uncle Sam is his last movie.
And
he's still alive. Also, I just want to go back to The Expert, which he asked to not be credited on.
Yeah.
It's an action movie and it stars Ernest P. Worrell.
Yes, I saw that, which is fucking insane. And also, you know what? He gets like in almost every movie, he's got some like names, you know, he's got guys there. And I think it all really stems from him doing majority Larry Cohen scripts. Like, I think,
you know, he's a director's director. Who doesn't want to be in William Lustig?
I think he's just like, I think he just like knows people and like, you know, he had a fucking career.
Probably.
Is he
His
still
uncle
around?
Was Jake LaMotta. His uncle was Jake LaMotta. He was in a bunch of. He starred, or not starred. That's a fucking insane claim. He was an extra in some Sam Raimi films.
That's right. Yeah, he was like a Shemp or whatever they're called.
When
you're like
Dark Man.
Yeah, like you're like a fill-in for like the main actor who's also in the scene. Which, like, I don't know if you've seen William Lustig. I don't see him looking like anyone except himself, but God bless him. Is this his Twitter? Is he real? Is he?
I mean, he's definitely still around.
Nice. Oh yeah, because he owns Blue Underground. So now he like releases, it's like a Vinegar Syndrome-esque type, like they restore movies and stuff, remaster like weird cult movies, and so he opened that up, and that's like what he mainly does now. So I don't know. Props to him, man. Props to him. Maniac Cop and Maniac are incredible.
Agreed.
Uncle Sam, where does that fall for you?
That's where I was going. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Incredible.
I don't know. I feel like it's so close to being incredible, but like almost all the kills are like not on screen. I feel like it was for a guy that directed Maniac. I wanted to see a little more, but it was fun. It's fun.
So yes. For a guy who directed Maniac, you would expect more gore, but this was a campy movie at a time where there were, camp movies weren't a thing anymore. It's 1996. Like, horror was like dead in the water until Scream came out that year, and this guy's making Uncle Sam. I love it.
Yeah, and this is the year of Pinocchio's Revenge, and is it the year of Leprechaun? No, Leprechaun was 3 years prior.
Leprechaun's like 93, yeah.
And then what about our buddy Rumpelstiltskin? Rumpelstiltskin movie. Hang on. Also, I have a new keyboard. That's
the year before, 95.
No, Rumpelstiltskin's 96. Oh, it is. Okay. I was just about to say 95, 96, it looks like. So like it's like right around that period of like let's take like a random like public domain character and make a horror movie about it. Right? Like you got Pinocchio's Revenge, you got fucking a leprechaun, you got Rumpelstiltskin, and now we've got Uncle Sam, who is also literally somebody's Uncle Sam.
I love that.
That was the best. I actually really appreciated that. It stars Isaac Hayes,
who gives it his all.
Dude, this man is acting. Dude, remember his weird fall from like South Park? And how
because they went after Scientology.
Yeah, but then it turned out like the Scientologist, like Isaac Hayes' son, like came out after he died and was like, yeah, dude, like he had like a stroke and like didn't know what he was doing, and they wrote it and signed, like they were like, yeah, just sign this, Isaac. And he signed it, and it was like, fuck Matt and Trey, they're scumbags. And Matt and Trey were like, hey, you didn't have a problem with us when we were making fun of like Muslims and Christians and Jewish people, so it seems really fucking weird that this is suddenly a problem for you.
Remember when they killed Chef and they rebuilt him like Darth Vader at the end?
The fucking Adventure Club, where it was like a pedophilic group of people that were like tricking him. Dude, that's the most insane thing to do. That like, I wish there was some way to do that through like in the podcast form, because there's so many people I would fucking bury by making an episode where you're just like, oh, here's our friend Chef, but he's been brainwashed by the Adventure Club, who just goes around molesting children. And now Chef's not the same anymore, and dude, Chef shits himself to death at the end. Well, he doesn't shit himself to death. He dies and then fucking shits all over the fucking screen. Proving that you evacuate your bowels when you die. Dude, imagine like you leave a fucking show like that you kind of probably like you've spent so many years there, and like That's what they do to your character. Oh, fucking brilliant, man. Fucking brilliant. But they gave him, an RIP after he died. And I think that was like a very messy situation, but poor Isaac Hayes, man. And like, what a fucking, he was with Stax, right?
What?
His like singing career was with Stax Records.
Oh, Stax Records. Yeah.
That's cool as hell, man.
Yeah, I love Isaac, man.
Yeah, I know. At your cookout, I found a cutout picture of Chef from like from a magazine from the 90s that was just like on the ground. And me and your brother were like, what the fuck is this? And your brother was like, this is for sure Joe's, by the way.
Yeah, that and people were finding pogs in my
Yeah, no, that was the funniest shit. Dana, who's also a fan of the show, me and her found, I was like, is that a fucking pog? And it was like a fucking 8-ball, of course, like a fucking like sparkly 8-ball. And I picked it up and it was 100% a pog. And finding a pog on the ground in 2021 is like one of the weirdest experiences of my life. Like I was just like, this is like surreal. This is so surreal to find a pog just on the ground. Like, fucking so weird. Yeah, so Isaac Hayes, he's in this movie. And then let's get into it. I think that's all I've got for background on it. Did you have anything else to add to that?
No. Let's get into it.
All right, so this movie, we open up in Kuwait, which is like, I forgot that was like a military thing. I honestly don't know anything about that. What would you call it? Like a altercation or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it was a war or not, but like, don't know shit about it. But I remember the name, like growing up, you know what I mean? Like hearing it constantly. And I was like, oh fuck yeah, that was like a thing. And it's June 14th that we're in Kuwait. We see a military helicopter has crashed. The military goes to check on it. And I don't totally understand what's happening at the beginning, but the dead guy in the helicopter wakes up and just shoots these these two guys that like came to be like, oh my God, what is this? And then the dead guy speaks and goes, don't be afraid. It's only friendly fire. And that's how we open up. And I'm like, oh shit, that's something. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely something. That scene is convoluted as the movie goes on, as we find out the situation behind that scene. It feels like they could have done something else there, but so we cut to small town USA. We got a kid who he's got a picture of his uncle, who is that corpse that was shooting people.
Yes.
And we know that only because like he looks at the photo and then it just cuts to cuts back to that scene that we just saw, and it's like, hey, it's this P.S. It's this guy, and his name is Uncle Sam. It's his uncle. Which,
dude, it's so funny because he loves his uncle, right? And he idolizes him, and he has all of his stuff. And then we find out at the end of the movie that the uncle is like the most reviled piece of shit, and everybody hates him. So why does this kid have so many pictures, and why does he have so much of his memorabilia of him?
Well, like, that's the weirdest part, because at the I don't want to jump to the end, but we might as well fight. At the end, it centers around a family who is this kid. I honestly, Joe, I don't know any of these people's fucking names. It's a kid. I'll pull up the fucking IMDb. It's a kid. I don't know his name. This kid is a fucking psychopath. This kid was one of the most unsettling children in movie history.
His name's Jody.
Really?
Dude, do you hear that?
No.
Alright, well, listen. The user, I don't know where it's coming from. It sounds like there's a fucking bat in my room. Like, I just hear wings flapping.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is it inside or outside?
I mean, I'm in my sunroom, dude. I mean, it sounds like it's in the room with me. This is like in the ceiling. I don't. Whatever. Carry on.
Okay. All right. So we got little Jody Baker, who's the son. Well, he's not the son. He's God. I just wish that there was like just a norm. Oh, by the way, PJ Souls is in this movie.
PJ Souls is?
Yeah.
Who is she in this movie?
I don't know.
I missed her.
She's Matt. So did I. Because I
thought
Madge
Cronin. I see her right here.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Anyway, so we have. Oh boy. So the main characters are Uncle Sam's sister, right? Who's Sally Baker. Her son Jody Baker, and then Uncle Sam's wife, who is Louise? No. What's the wife's name?
Wait. There's Sally, Louise. Louise is the wife.
Louise is the wife.
Yeah.
But she has a different name. Her name is Louise Harper.
Right, that's Sam's last name.
No, Sam's last name. Oh, is it?
Yeah, Sam Harper.
Like this is way too confusing for a movie. Like this should not be.
Because his sister has a different last name because she got married.
Oh, because she got married, had a kid. Got it. Okay. I thought his name was Sam. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's just move on. So that's our main. That's really who we're dealing with here. And then Isaac Hayes, who is Jed, and he kind of like comes in a little bit later. But that's our main crew, right? And it's revealed later that Uncle Sam was like a despicable, like womanizing, abusive piece of shit. And it's
to both his sister and his wife.
Both of them. Fucking, it's insane. And then, like, at the end, they're like, all right, it's finally time for you to fucking know about Uncle Sam. And it's like, it's so bizarre that you gave him all of these, and I know you're not going to, like, write them out of your fucking history, probably, but, like, maybe tone it down and maybe not give him access to everything about him. Because this kid is obsessed with him.
Obsessed. Like, worships the ground, wants to be just like him.
Calls people cowards. He fucking talks so much shit to everyone else, and it's like all on the basis of like what his uncle had told him growing up.
Dude, rips his teacher a new one for protesting the Vietnam War.
Dude, that's like the best fucking scene. So it's so fucking nuts. So little Jody, he goes, well, so a couple things. Jody goes in to his mom and is like, I have dreams about Uncle Sam, which is also weird because he steps on glass and like casually walks to his mom's room and is like, hey, I hurt my foot. We were just at that party with like 18 kids. If anyone stepped on glass, it would have been nonstop screaming for fucking 35 minutes. No matter which one. No matter which one. There might have been multiple kids screaming just cuz. Like, and this kid, I'm supposed to believe this kid stepped on glass and is like, excuse me, Mom. Can you please help me with my foot? Like, not even wincing. But yeah, so he's having dreams of Uncle Sam. And while that happens, the military shows up to Sam's wife's house and they're like, we found the body. This is 3 years after the fact.
Dude, 3 years after. And doesn't Sam's wife, isn't she just getting back from a date?
Yes.
Or is that the sister?
No, that's, dude, they're both just like, it was so confusing. It was so
They look alike, don't they?
They look exactly alike. There was multiple scenes where I had no idea what the fuck was happening. Yes.
Because I was like, I remember thinking like, why is the wife, dating someone if she's not sure that her husband's dead? But then I was like, oh, that must have been the sister. But then afterwards, that cop was like, yeah, the wife's plowing the deputy. That's right. Because the cop's like, yeah, the wife's fucking going to town with the local sheriff.
Dude, that guy is so graphic in that scene. But yeah, no, she's dating the deputy, the sheriff of the town, and then the mom's dating like a lawyer. Which fucking I can't wait to talk about when Jody fucking has a problem with the way he practices law, but fucking 8-year-old little shit. Yeah, so we meet that crew. We now know Uncle Sam's body has just been found. And then we meet Isaac Hayes, who is Jed, who was a sergeant in the military, but not really like I guess he just encouraged Sam to join the military, and that's like his crux that he's bearing in this. He's very upset that he like encouraged Sam to like join the military.
Yeah, because he reveals that Sam didn't do it to be like patriotic, right, so he can kill people.
He just wanted to murder people.
Yeah.
This movie like kind of takes like some like serious twists and turns in it, because
it does.
It's a little weird.
It's very goofy, but there's also like a serious introspective on like just American psyche.
Right. Like it's like a little bit heavier than you would imagine for this stupid Uncle Sam movie, where it's like, because the kid is so ultra patriotic to a point where he's like, there's a point in the movie where he's like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever the president says, I fucking do. And it's like, whoa, that's fucking wild. Like that is a wild fucking thing to hear from a fucking 8-year-old. And then there's, and you think that maybe the movie is going that route with like the military aspect of it, because that's like what Uncle Sam said. And then you kind of realize like Isaac Hayes, it's really Isaac Hayes' character that's like, whoa, fucking take it easy, buddy. Like, it's not like World War II days when we had like this like enemy, like very real enemy. Like now it's just kind of like fucking weird political shit.
Yeah, and I do want to highlight, when we're introduced to Isaac Hayes, we find out about his like crux because he gives a soliloquy. Like he is doing like a Shakespearean monologue to the camera. There's nobody else on the screen.
No, it's literally just, dude, that scene was so abrupt, and it literally cuts from the scene where they reveal that Sam's body's been found to just Chef at his house alone, just being like, my God, like talking about the military, talking
about survivor's guilt and like what he's done to this guy. Like, it's fucking crazy.
It was wild. It was really fucking wild. We cut then to the school where every kid is involved in a conspiracy theory about Uncle Sam. Which
the teacher fucking feeds into. If I found a teacher teaching my like 10-year-old about friendly fire and fucking things, everything that guy said, I'd be furious about it.
Well, it's also fucking this little fucking Jody kid who's like, yeah, hey teacher, and the teacher's like, yes, Jody, and he's like, they found my uncle's body. I'd be like, all right, you shut it down there. But then the teacher's like, oh yes, Jody, that could be tough. And Jody's like, yeah, he was fucking shot by his own people. And like the kids in class are like, yeah, that's what I heard too. And you're like, wait, what? From who? Everyone's got a conspiracy theory about Uncle Sam, but it's fucking great. Also, that kid wears stripes with camo, which is fucking hurt my eyes the entire movie. And then like this kid grills his teacher in this moment, being like, were you in the army? And he's like, well, no, like when I was a kid, like there was the Vietnam War, and like that was a different kind of war, and a lot of people were against it, and and he's like, a lot of people moved away, and he's like, oh, well, my uncle said you guys are cowards. And the teacher's like, well, Jody, like that's not very nice. He's like, I didn't say it, my uncle said it.
Doesn't he repeat that twice?
Yeah. Dude, this kid is like terrifying. And then they
I thought he was going to be the villain, to be honest with you.
Dude, so did I. Dude, this kid looks like a fucking lunatic. And dude, well, okay, so a weird thing here. Why did they roll in Uncle Sam's coffin into their living room? I don't think that's ever been done in the history of ever. Like, the military recovers his body and are like, okay, here it is. And then they wheel it into their house and plop it in their living room. And they're like, all right, see you fucking later. Weirdest shit I've ever seen.
I have no clue. Also, I know this is jumping ahead, but just since we're on the topic of Jody being a psychopath, this is Larry Cohen, who's a good writer.
Yeah.
Why Why did they make Uncle Sam have a telekinetic connection with a boy in a wheelchair and not fucking Jody?
Joe, I figured it out.
Oh, good.
Dude, I figured it out like at the end because it was like bothering me. I was like, why is this even happening? Why is this character in it? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And it's not even explained. I just kind of like put the pieces of the puzzle together and it's so silly. Should we talk about it now or no?
Nah, do it
all
at
right,
the
all
time.
right. So yeah, they roll this coffin in to the house and Jody is immediately like, hey, can I pop this thing open? And like he's like trying to like unlock the coffin and they're like, yeah, I really wouldn't do that. And Jody's like, well, yeah, you don't know shit. Dude, Jody says in front of his fucking mother, a single mom who's like just struggling to like keep this fucking little piece of shit in line. And somebody's like, oh, it's like that bereavement guy who's like, yeah, you really cared about your uncle, huh? The kid goes, hey, he's the only one around here who ever did anything important. It's the most fucked up thing I've ever heard. And he like cuts to the mom's face who's just like, oh, Jody. And that bereavement guy from the military, he's a sergeant. I think everyone's just a sergeant in this movie, but they constantly sorry, that's my fucking phone. They constantly I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, bereavement. Oh, they constantly use the word sergeant, like just kind of like everyone's a fucking sergeant. But this guy is a sergeant and he also does bereavement. And this scene is just worth noting because this guy is a fucking predator. And like you already touched on that scene where he's like saying, he's talking about, he's like, yeah, she's fucking plowing the fucking deputy. He is the most vile human being. He's just at his hotel room on the phone with another man. And he's just like, yeah, I'm going to get some of that dough. Don't you fucking worry. He's like, I'm batting 750 in fucking bereavement fucks. And you're like, holy shit, this guy's the worst. This guy's the worst. And then we see a dinner with the mother and her new boyfriend. And this kid is such, like, again, like, he's such a little psychopath. And he's also a little narc fucking loser. Because the mom's lawyer boyfriend is not even breaking the law, right? So it's not like the people that ran away from the draft, right? Which, is technically against the law, right? Isn't that illegal? Wasn't it illegal? Draft dodging?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like, that was actually like a legal thing. This guy's a lawyer and like basically is like, hey, I was able to get out of like paying more taxes than we need to. So like, it's not even illegal. He was in court fighting it. And he was like, yeah, we did more work than they did. And they ruled in our favor. So now we don't have to pay taxes for this stuff. And the kid is like absolutely fucking disgusted with this. The kid is like, oh, so you fucking like lying and cheating? Boyfriend's like, well, no, not really. Like, it's not. Boy's like, I want to eat dinner in my room alone. He actually says after that, he's like, I'm not hungry anymore. Like, he's so disgusted with somebody not paying taxes. Fucking 8-year-old. Oh, he's the fucking worst. And then he meets Isaac Hayes, and Isaac Hayes has a fake leg, and the kid's like, heard they blew your fucking leg off. And Isaac Hayes is like, yeah, that's what happened. The kid's like, oh,
this is actually the scene where I'm like, Isaac Hayes is a phenomenal actor. Because the kid's like, he loved killing, and isn't that what makes you a hero? And Isaac Hayes is just screaming in his face, like, there's no such thing as a hero.
Dude, Isaac Hayes, like, killed this fucking role. Like, he did not know what this was. But, like, good for him, man. That's what you should do, right?
Yeah.
Well, so we've gone from June 14th, and it's now midnight on July 4th. And it cuts to the casket, and you're like, oh, he's going to wake up because it's July 4th. He doesn't. What wakes him up is a bunch of kids, don't know why, lighting an American flag on fire in a graveyard. And
Petey Pabloing it, just swinging it over their head.
Total Pedal, oh fuck, I'm like, total PD Pablo. Like, it was insane. Actually, I think that might be one of the most dangerous stunts I've ever seen in a movie, because there's no way that was under control. Like, it was just a ball of flame on on the end of a flag, and the kid was just fucking swinging it as fast as he could. And this scene was just weird. It just felt like they were doing this for like cost purposes. I don't know, because they are miles away from Uncle Sam's casket, who's in a house, but they're like near his grave, and like some of the ashes of the flag touch the hole.
That's so ridiculous. Because I was like, oh, all right, maybe like I could kind of be on board if like the fire,
yes,
like lit his coffin on fire, and that's what like animated him. But he's not in the grave. It's just dirt.
It's just a fucking hole in the ground. He's not even near there. Like, and that's where I was like, was this like a cost measure? Was it too much to have the guy like come out of dirt? Was it just easier to have him like fall out of the casket? Like, what was the incentive to filming it like this that made no sense whatsoever? And now like he had to walk like 10 miles to the fucking graveyard to fucking fight these kids. Yeah, he also steals his medals back, which I thought would play a bigger role in the movie, but it doesn't. But he does stick them to his skin, which is disgusting.
Disgusting. It comes back briefly because Jodie's like, "Why'd you guys take his medals then?"
Yeah, and they're like,
"Which like the viewer's supposed to think that's like suspenseful or something."
We've already like Uncle Sam has run amok at this point. We're not confused. And by the way, that wasn't the moment they were like, "Oh God, it's Sam." They were just like, "Oh, that's weird." Like, kind of just brushed over. But we see Uncle Sam's costume for the first time, but it's not Uncle Sam.
No.
This might be my favorite scene in the movie because I laughed so I could not stop laughing. I honestly was laughing so fucking hard because. So we see Sam gets reanimated, right, in the grave.
Yep.
And we cut to this woman changing, and I think it's the sister or the wife, right, or the widow.
Oh, I didn't even know it was one of them.
I mean, I think it is. Otherwise, I mean, what a waste of fucking time. But because I think it was supposed to make us be like, oh, that's him looking at her.
I thought it was just some sorority house.
It might be, man. I honestly don't know. They all look the same in this, but we see the guy, the Uncle Sam mask and the hat that we know from the cover, and it's like looking in the window. And
guys on the biggest stilts. How do you even get those on?
Dude, those are like 20-foot stilts. I've never seen stilts that long in my life.
You need to climb a ladder, right?
Dude, in my life, how do you fucking do that? It blew my mind.
If you're gonna be a fucking creep peeping Tom, that's the most like obvious, like the least subtle thing I've ever seen. You fucking stick out like a sore thumb, and he's doing it in like the front yard too. He's not creeping around people's backyards. He's coming off the main road, 20 feet high.
It's off the main road, and then he decides to run through the town green.
And the whole time he's just like whoa, making like ridiculous noises.
The way he's running on the stilts made me laugh so fucking hard. Dude, he's just running down the road being like, ah! And by the way, it turns out he even says this. He's like, I'm supposed to wear this tomorrow. Don't get it dirty. Like, why are you wearing it tonight then? That's so fucking bizarre. But it turns out it's actually not, as you might have realized, it's not Uncle Sam. It's the town pervert Willie. And we know that because the girl like goes out the window and is like, Willie, you fucking weirdo. Like, get the fuck out of here. Dude, fucking peeping Tom on stilts. That shit is fucking unbelievable.
Like a nightmare.
And he's running away, and you think he's running away from just the scene of the crime. But then we see Uncle Sam is chasing him for some reason. With garden shears. Like, it was really bizarre. And Uncle Sam goes, hope you got an eyeful. And like sticks his fingers in the mask. And you're like, oh man, fucking pulling out his eyeballs. No, he just pulls off the fucking mask and then just cuts him up. Like, there's no fucking eye scene.
This is a waste of a pun.
is so fucking weird. He then goes to the graveyard where he spray paints this kid's eyes, which all the kid really had to do was turn and run. But instead he's just like, ah! And like letting Uncle Sam spray paint his face for a minute until he wakes up in a grave with a Dante's Peak style injury on his leg. His fucking leg snapped from a 6-foot fall into a grave. And Uncle Sam buries him alive. So like, this is where I was like, oh, like these kills are like kind of like the garden shears was off camera. This was just burying a guy alive.
Yeah, it felt like a movie that was made to play on USA.
For sure. And I mean, that might be it. But it was weird because I was surprised that it was rated R. Like, it seems like it's very much a PG-13 movie.
Why was this rated R?
I really don't know. It's very much PG-13. I guess it was like the couple times where they showed like a decapitated head. Like, there was like 2 scenes with that. Yeah, I don't know. And then like a random blowjob scene in the fucking... Why was that
lasted like 2 seconds. Why was that in there?
Not even characters we know.
It's not. It's the guy in a sack race. Is he even being chased by Sam yet? He's just hopping.
No, he's just hopping
a shortcut. Yeah, he's making a shortcut in a sack race.
It was so fucking weird. This town is a fucking mess. So he kills the kid. He spray paints his eyes, buries him alive. The next kid from the graveyard scene is hung from a flagpole. That was pretty cool.
You know what? I liked it. I like that they were incorporating American things.
Right. And then from here it gets a little wild. I guess it doesn't get like super gory. It's just like kind of silly gory. But Uncle Sam's like trail of terror is you don't really know where, why, or who he's attacking. Like, okay, so you start with the 3 kids. Well, he's gotten 2 of the 3 kids so far. Then he goes after the teacher with a hatchet to the brain, and the hatchet is stolen from like George Washington's set, like from chopping down the cherry tree or whatever.
Yeah.
And he fucking hatchets that guy in the fucking brain, and that's great. And we know that because he thinks the teacher's a coward. Great.
Yep.
But then like he starts killing off like anyone that he even slightly meets. Not always people that were like actual, and I guess that's the point of the movie, so I guess it's like kind of tight. Because like you think he's like doing patriotic work, right? Like killing anti-American people in his head. But then it turns out he's just a fucking nut. He just loves killing. But and then we meet our new character, who is a blind kid. Well, blind
Barry.
And burned.
Yes.
What, did you say his name? Barry?
Barry is his name.
Barry. Oh, so PJ Souls was his mom.
Oh, okay. I didn't pick up on that.
No, I didn't either. That's interesting. So he is a kid that was burned and I guess blinded severely with fireworks. Okay, here is their connection. Ready? And it took me like a while to figure it out. The mom constantly, when we're introduced to this character, like over and over and over again, is like, his friends did this to him. His friends did this to him.
Yeah, friendly fire.
Friendly fire. And that's why they have that connection. That's why he likes the kid.
But that doesn't explain why he. But that doesn't explain why he has telekinetic powers.
Oh no! I mean, I don't have an answer for that, Joe. Dude, I thought I was brilliant coming up with that friendly fire thing.
I mean, no, I get that part.
I did.
I just don't get.
At the very end, I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, friendly fire.
Yeah, but like, why he has telekinetic powers and why he wouldn't like.
Yeah, no, why he wouldn't use it with his like
Barry
nephew.
didn't fucking die. You know, you just got fucking burned up.
I mean, the telekinetic power...
Which he looks fucking fine, by the way.
Who is fine?
Barry. He looks fucking fine.
Oh, yeah, I know. Barry's totally fine. Yeah, everyone in town is like, that little freak Barry.
Yeah. It was a fucking massacre.
Oh, man. And of course, like, Jody's, like, buddies with Barry and, like, not in a normal way, in, like, a super creepy way. He, like, runs up to him and is like, Barry, I'm your friend. I would never have done that to you. All right, Jody, fucking take it easy, buddy. Everyone hates you. They do, the final kid that was at the gravesite burning flags but not killed, for some reason is chosen to sing the national anthem in front of the whole town, which, like, it's probably not new behavior for this kid, so I don't know why they were like, and now to sing the national anthem, that little piece of shit that, like, desecrates graves.
And he just has that look too. Like
you would never trust this kid.
You don't judge a book by its cover, but you know that this kid's known throughout the town.
Listen, he looked like the Parker brothers from our street.
Wait, AJ?
I don't even know their names, dude. I just remember them as the Parker brothers.
The dude that had a soda vending machine that they clearly stole from somewhere that was in their driveway.
Yes. Dude, they had like Korn and Marilyn Manson shirts like before they were like huge, and I remember being like, "These dudes are fucking scary," and everyone was afraid of them, and including myself.
Yeah, holy shit! That just brought me back. I can't believe this. Because that vending machine worked. They plugged it into their driveway. You just go and buy a soda from their driveway that they lifted. And then there was the other brothers, the other twins. And they always wore the Operation Ivy shirts.
Oh, I don't
know. Fuck was their name? Yeah, you do.
And they wore up.
The Smiths. Yeah, the Smiths.
Wait.
Yeah.
Dude, those kids were the best. Although they were like unstable.
Fucking lunatics. They were cool to us, but they were terrorists, dude.
That's so funny that you say it that way. Because, like, that's how I picture it. Like, I'm like, they were great to me. Like, I didn't have a ton of friends. And, like, Matt was, like, super cool to me. But, like, now that you think about the stories I heard after the fact, like, I didn't realize their reputation.
Yeah, no, we were lucky. Like, we were on their good graces. But they were nuts.
Terrorists. That's so fucking funny. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Me and with our Eskimo brothers, which I found out, like, after the fact.
Gross.
Yeah, I know. And it's even grosser than that. It was like a 50-year-old woman in town.
We should edit this out.
I should edit this out?
Using his full name.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, there's no way he's still alive.
Also, is that the most generic name you've ever heard in your fucking life?
Yes, good point.
Fucking 10,000 of them.
Good luck finding that one.
But yeah, anyway, those guys rocked. The Parker brothers scared the shit out of me. They were in high school when we were in, I think in like elementary or middle school.
Grade school, yeah.
Yeah, and like we would walk by their house to get to elementary school, and it was like, oh fuck, like. Fucking terrifying. Yes. Anyway, were you with us that Devil's Night where like that car chased us? You definitely were.
I don't remember.
Oh man, it was fucking wild. That was like one of the most wild fucking nights of my life. I
remember when me and Little Krat got chased by the guy who was the suspect for decapitating that hooker.
Oh shit!
Because Chris ran over his garbage can lid on his bike. The guy chases Terminator 2 style, but like a good half a mile.
What is wrong with our fucking town? You know what? Like we started like telling more stories in our Discord, and people were like I made fun of somebody else's town, and they were like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like you come from like fucking Traumaville." And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Fucking fair point."
It's that big cell tower that just emits all the radiation that's right in the middle of the town.
That your dad thinks is a a bunker for like a spaceship.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fuck me, man. That shit's funny as Anyway, so we meet this, like, blind burn kid. Oh, the kid that sings the national anthem, he moons everyone, with his boxers on. Like, we don't even get, like...
Yeah, dude. That was my biggest takeaway from that scene. Like, this kid's supposed to be a rebel. It doesn't even fucking bare ass it.
And Uncle Sam offers, through telekinetic powers, the burn kid to help him. And that doesn't even happen. Like, that kid doesn't even take...
The kid fucking rats on him.
Dude is immediately like, there's a guy fucking telling me to do things.
And then the kid pieces it together and rats on him to Jody. He's like, all this shit is because of Uncle Sam.
Yo, this kid is a super mangle expert. It was amazing. It was fucking amazing. When that kid puts everything together, he knows everything. He's like, yeah, Sam, it's your fucking uncle. And Sam's like, wait, or Jody's like, wait, what? And he's like, my uncle's dead. And the kid's like, yeah, I never said he wasn't. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? But, oh, goddamn. See, now I think this one's my favorite scene in the movie, which is when the guy who's playing Abe Lincoln, who is the mom's boyfriend, the lawyer,
yeah,
starts calling Francis Scott Key a one-hit wonder and is like daring somebody to name another hit that he had. Like, he's like, Francis Scott Key fucking sucks. He's like, try to name any lyric from that song. Talking about the national anthem.
Which is funny because now there's that meme circulating. I don't know if you've seen it. It was being shared all over yesterday. That was like national anthem versus like the Rough Rider anthem, or national anthem versus the anthem by Good Charlotte. And one of the things was written by Francis Scott, nobody. You know, they're the front runners of that joke.
Dude, that's so fucking funny. That scene cracked me up. It's like, it's longer than it should be, and they're like, this guy's talking like he's like some type of like hipster audiophile, and he's like, honestly, he's like, name me one other song he wrote. Name one other song. And fucking Isaac Hayes is like, are you fucking kidding me right now? He dares him to sing one line from the song. He's like, name one line. Name one line. Like, this guy fucking rock. So we go to the potato sack race, where things start finally speeding up a little bit here. And the kid from the graveyard finally gets his. But it's so insane because this is the most treacherous potato sack race I've ever seen in my life. There are people falling off of cliffs and like falling into ravines. Like, people are just like dying on this potato sack race, including the fucking kid that was fucking around at the grave. He falls down this fucking cliff, down a hill, and then is like, I'm lost. Like, dude, all you have to do is go back up the hill.
Guy that's doing that in this movie, like, what a hero. That guy, I mean, he's literally tumbling down an entire cliff, like bouncing off of rocks.
Dude, his head 100% bounces off a rock in one scene. And he is in a potato sack. Like, the potato sack is up to his neck. It's not like the holding it with your hands. For some reason, they're like tied off at the neck, so you actually can't protect yourself with your arms or anything. And this dude just fucking taking taters to the dome. He's just fucking bouncing off his head. And the kid gets up and he's like running around the woods and he's like, how do I get back? And then that's where you randomly see a random guy getting blown in a car. It's literally a split second. And you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah, her head pops up and they're just like, dude.
And then that kid gets decapitated by Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Uncle Sam starts playing carnival games. The fucking shooting game, which the guy goes, the way you shoot, you should work at the post office. I forgot.
Postal jokes in the 90s, man.
Dude, insane.
Which is ridiculous because, like, I don't even know how to put it into words. Like, there are mass shootings, which is still happening now, but it's like,
right.
You know, it's like a travesty, as it should be. But like back then, we were just making postal jokes, like, sure, somebody shut up a post office again.
Fucking Naked Gun. Was it Naked Gun where it like 33 1/3 where it opens with like the biggest postal joke of all time? But it's not even a postal joke. It's just fucking reenacting a postal massacre. Like, it's a mass shooting. It's fucking the most insensitive thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's fucking crazy.
And
biggest punchline back then.
It was. And I remember asking my dad, being like, why do we talk about, like, postal or, like, going postal?
Yeah, going postal. Dude, fucking Weird Al sang about it.
Yeah.
In one of his songs.
And I was like, what is that about? Like, why do we say that? And he said that there was, like, shootings at postal facilities. And I was like, oh, okay. Never looked into it until I watched this, and that, like, brought that back. And, like, they were, like, super tragic, like, and I don't know why they were happening at postal offices, but it was just, like, there was, like, 10 from, like, 1980 to, like, 1994 or something like that.
Crazy.
Dude, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And, like, America's...
Like Sinbad's character in Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, dude,
it's like a plot point. Like, he's unstable because he works as a post office.
Dude, and it was like, it was a punchline for 10 fucking years. Like, oh, those postal workers just shooting each other. Like, yeah, fucking hilarious. What?
Devastating.
Anyway, Uncle Sam steals that gun and shoots the mom's boyfriend off screen. I actually rewound it because I was like, I had to have missed it. But no, we just see Abe Lincoln, who's sitting on a balcony, which is fucking funny as fuck. And he's been shot. He's been shot in the back of the head. The guy was dressed up as Abe Lincoln and he was assassinated.
I love William Lustig.
Dude, this is fucking ridiculous. It's so fucking good. I want a director's cut, though. I want to see the fucking Schneider cut of this. I don't think it's Schneider. It's Snyder. The Rob Schneider cut.
Oh, God, what a nightmare.
Well... Everyone's mourning this guy because he's the first death that has been found, right?
Yes.
They're the first one that's been discovered, his body, and the whole town's kind of in mourning. The kid, like, walks up, Jody, and is like, yeah, he was probably killed because he was a fucking crook. And everyone's like, okay, Jody. Like, no, dude, this kid should get fucking punched in the face. Like, and this is when the two ladies finally decide to tell the kid that Sam was a piece of shit, which I don't know if he fully takes in at this moment or not. I think he kind of does.
I think he does.
Yeah. Well, the mayor then is like, hey, I think we shouldn't cancel the fireworks. And everyone's like, yeah, totally. That sounds like a great idea. So they don't. And this is what
they don't. And then it goes to a scene of, was it the congressman that's tied up?
No, I was like super fucking confused. Oh, wait, yes, it is the congressman. I'm sorry, it is the congressman, not the mayor. I thought Robert Forster was the mayor, but he's actually a congressman.
He's a congressman, yeah.
Which is nuts.
He's tied up. These guys had such ample time to stop the fireworks, right? Because we see him tied up.
You see him like, clear as day. He's got just fucking fire. He's just got like M80 shoved in his mouth. He's not hidden at all. He's just on the stage. And everyone's like, yay!
And then after they light it, they realize that he's tied up. He's going to explode. And even after he explodes, the mayor could not be like less concerned about what just happened.
Dude, I don't think they knew that he was up there. Everyone started screaming because the cop got blown off because it like exploded. And the cop was like running up. The cop was like the only one that noticed and was like running up to save him. And then it blows up. And then he rolls down the hill and everyone's like, my God. Even though there was a man that was just blown up on stage. Anyway, so then the blind kid tells Sam that, hey, your uncle is alive and he's dead, but he's here and he's the one doing all this. So they're like, hey, we should tell Isaac Hayes, Jed, about this. And they tell Jed, and Isaac Hayes like, what are you guys, fucking idiots? And they're like, listen, that is what it is. And then he's like, oh my God, you're right. They provide no other information. They're just like, no, it is. And he's like, holy shit.
At one point he yells, damn kids. He does it with such like passion. I fucking love Isaac Hayes.
Oh, wait, you know what it was? They did, the point that they said that was like, where he was like, holy shit, you're right, was they were like, listen, don't you have a phantom limb? Like, talking about his leg. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, it's like the same thing. And he's like, oh my God. Wait, what? So now he believes in Uncle Sam because he also has a phantom limb, which has nothing to do with somebody that's been raised from the dead. Oh my God, fucking great.
Sam impales the cop with the end of a flagpole.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was cool. I liked that. And to prove that Sam is alive, they go to check the casket, and they open it up, and inside is the sergeant that loved fucking people. So that was probably for the best. That was probably good. But again, an off-scene kill, and he's just like shoved in a casket later on, which is a bummer. But finally, though, we get our confrontation. Isaac confronts Zombie Sam at the house, and the kids are there. I think everyone's there at this point, and Isaac's like, you never fought for this country, and you killed for the love of killing. He's like, so just die. And you're like, sick. And then it just cuts to Isaac being thrown through a fucking wall.
He's thrown through like the top of the wall, so he also has a long fall down. And there's like a bunch of shit, like a bunch of shelves that he lands on. I mean, when you see Isaac's body crash through, like, holy shit, they killed Isaac. Isaac doesn't even have a scratch on him. Just immediately gets up and he's fine, and he's in the other room.
Dude, he bounces up, and is like, we gotta go. You're like, wait, what? Oh, wait. He bounces up and is like, I'm gonna go get the cannon. And you're like, wait, excuse me? And Isaac leaves a child and a woman to distract this zombie. Arguably, probably like the two targets of his. Well, like, I think he wants to protect them, but like, you don't want him around these two, right?
Right. Those are the ones you want to protect. He leaves them alone. Dude, popping up. That's honestly my favorite scene in the whole movie. It's so fucking ridiculous.
That when he goes to pick up, when he goes through the wall, or when he goes to pick up the Civil War cannon.
Both. Everything from being thrown through the wall to the end is just A+.
Yo,
A+.
he drives to the fucking party and ties a Civil War cannon to his truck and fucking bounces.
Did you see that that town that they filmed in no longer allows movies to be filmed there because of this?
No way.
Yeah, because they didn't tell them they're actually going to fire a cannon. And they actually fired the cannon. And the noise, like, ruined the neighborhood.
Which is insane because, like, the cannon doesn't even operate. Well, okay, this is why they complain. Because if they had fired a real cannon, it would probably have been very loud and probably not great. But this is not what a cannon does. This cannon blew up. This cannon caused an explosion. Like, cannonballs are, like, not explosive devices, They're just giant fucking iron balls that just tear you to shreds. But for some reason, when they fire this cannonball, it blows up the entire front porch of a house. Does not kill him, though.
Does not kill him.
Uncle Sam's alive. So they shoot a second cannonball, which carries him fucking
Which I love that they take the time to show Isaac Hayes actually, like, using that swab that you
stick.
like.
I also love that Isaac Hayes knows how to use a Civil War era cannon. Like, imagine trying to figure that out, how to fucking fire one of those off. Like,
Here it is. I just pulled it up on IMDb. The filmmakers didn't notify local homeowners of the large explosion that they were going to be setting off at 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
As a result, the city of Laverne decided to reject all future requests for movies to be filmed in Laverne. What a fucking nightmare at 2 a.m. and you have to hear the house being blown up for Uncle Sam.
Oh my god, that's fucking funny. It also kind of reminds me of, not to detract from the end of this, but we just did our Patreon episode on Tokyo Drift and Number 4 and actually Orca, which is fucking what an odd group of movies we talked about. But Tokyo Drift, they filmed without permits. And
really?
And it like, and in Japan, they basically counted on the Japanese just being like the nicest human beings on earth. Cause they were like, they would film for like an hour and like the cops would be looking, being like, hey, okay, wrap it up. And they would just ignore them. And then the studio paid a guy, a Japanese man, to pretend to be the director and he would go to jail. They would arrest him. He'd be like, I'm the director. So they would arrest him instead of the actual director.
Fall guy.
Yeah.
I like it.
They had a fall guy and they were like, okay, we're going to arrest him then. And then they would just film the movie the next day with another fall guy. Fucking brilliant. But yeah, they had no permits. It was like not okay. I'm pretty sure there's been like issues since that. Like they were like, they've like cracked down on like filming.
They were hit with that and the Jackass movie like within 3 years.
You're fucking right. Holy shit.
American filmmakers just terrorizing their entire country.
Oh my god, what a fucking nightmare. Fucking wee man like humping their police force who are like just too friendly and are like, okay.
Pretending to be a traffic cone and just being in everybody's fucking way to it.
Dude, that fucking scene where I love that we're like 2 seconds from finishing on
2 seconds from wrapping up this episode.
The one where Preston is chasing Wee Man and they're both just in their underwear running down the city of Japan,
whiteys, yeah.
banging gongs.
Fucking headache.
Fucking absolute fucking headache.
Honestly, should have been on, like put on the terrorist list. Like, do not let these guys ever into this country. Fucking Chris Pontius just going into like establishments and
taking off his
playing that disco music, dancing to the speed up.
Fucking party boy. Yeah. Well, Isaac Hayes shoots him again with the cannonball, shoots him 30 fucking feet through a wall of the house, and then the entire house explodes. Like there was like a fucking pile of C4 in it. Like I've never seen a house explode like this in my fucking life. It was actually impressive for a movie with a low budget movie, but
yeah.
And that's actually the end. Kind of. It ends with little Jody lighting, like basically becoming an anarchist and like burning, not just burning like Uncle Sam shit, but like burning any toy with the American flag on it.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit excessive. Like, okay, cool. And then it just cuts to him and it's like his face and he looks fucking evil as fuck and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, A+.
A+. Good job, William. It's not your best, but hey, it's a fucking movie, man. It's fucking fun. It was fucking fun. All right. So that's that. Next week, what do we have for next week? We've got our camp. Man, I wish we did Orca for the show. I really do.
Let's do it.
Do you think you want to do it?
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of did it for Patreon.
I will rewatch it. That's true.
I kind of I was down for it until we talked about it on Patreon, and now I'm like, oh fuck.
Wait, there's a movie I've been trying. It's been on like the tip of my tongue,
and it's like a.
Dude, this is so insane. I keep thinking of Mansquito, but I know it's not Mansquito. But now I also kind of want to do Mansquito.
Mansquito is definitely a summer flick.
Yeah, I mean, mosquitoes are summertime, right?
Well, maybe we mix this up a little bit. Our episode next week was going to be cheerleader camp. You know what?
Fucking Leaf Garrett.
Fucking Mansquito.
Dude, this is another movie that I've been wanting to watch for years. It's not Mansquito.
Wait, is it Mansquito or is it just Mosquito? Oh no, it's Mansquito.
No, it's Mansquito.
Mansquito is 2005. I don't know if I'm. I don't know.
No, dude, I I did not suggest Mosquito. I just merely said that. That's what my mind keeps going.
But what was there was another mosquito horror movie. Wasn't it just mosquitoes?
Perhaps.
Yeah, Mosquito, 1994.
Let's do Mosquito.
Gunnar Hansen's in it. Joe, this death scene looks insane. Oh, okay, we're doing Mosquito. Millions of years of evolution have just become mankind's worst nightmare. Oh, wait. Okay. Sure. Gunnar Hansen. Fuck yeah. All right, so we're doing Mosquito. We're not doing Mansquito. Mansquito looks not okay. Mosquito from 1994. Trying to cash in on that arachnophobia.
Okay. Dude, I'm all for this. I'm looking at it right now.
Dude, the lead guitarist for the Stooges is in it.
Really?
Ron Ashton, yeah.
This is gonna be great.
I'm fucking pumped. When the director doesn't have a Wikipedia page to click on, you know it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Dude, that movie that I'm trying to think of is gonna drive me crazy. I think it's about a sea monster. Fuck. I know this is great podcasting, but like, I know Orca was like the same vein.
Wait. Was it? It's not the one that they just did on Joe Bob, was it?
Humanoids from the Deep?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, that movie was fucking tight.
The movie's great. I've always loved that movie.
That movie's so fucking good.
Yeah, I can't think of it. It had like a stupid fucking sea monster name that's not a real thing. Like, not real, like fictional and not real life, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
Like a megala shark.
I mean, it's not that, like, on the nose. It's like, you know, like fucking Gorgo or something.
Oh, yeah.
Except it's not Gorgo.
Okay, so we'll think about it and maybe we'll add it because I'm kind of digging now this more like summery animal vibe. We got Mosquito, then we're gonna do
Orca kicked it off. You're gonna change that opinion right after we watch Mosquito.
Mosquito, Piranha, and then maybe we'll do something else in there.
Fuck yeah, I like it.
We'll save the new kids for back to school in the end of August there. So Mosquito and Piranha are coming up next. I'm excited about that. How long has this episode been? I guess it's been a minute, huh?
It's been a long time. Yeah.
Fuck. Like I have every movie ever released in on 4th of July.
Just not even 4th of July theme, just
movies that were released on a 4th of July. Okay, do you want to know them or like should we rank them? No, we can't rank them. There's 50 of them. But how about we do that like rapid fire thing we did on one of our live shows where we where we listed every Nick Cage movie. All right, here we go. And these are from a ranking that I found on that fucking idiot Bill Simmons website, The Ringer, which by the way, they didn't watch all these. They were like, hey, just read the Wikipedia. This sounds silly. And I was like, ranked 28. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, if you didn't watch it, don't put it on the fucking list. Fuck. Anyway, all right. And this one's you're gonna know this one. And it's actually kind of interesting to see what was released on July 4th and what wasn't. All right. Independence Day. You just watched.
Just rewatched it today, actually. Hadn't seen it since it came out. If they cut an hour off of it, it'd be a 5-star movie.
That's an interesting take. I like it. I do think it is a little too long. It drags. There's that like
the first, the first like opening sequence and the when the aliens first come, it's like cinema at its best, like blockbuster movies.
Yeah, at its
best. But then there's so much like bullshit that happens.
Dude, the president's wife like being homeless for like 10 scenes.
And then meeting up. Yeah, give me a fucking break. Harry Connick Jr. being... fuck Harry Connick Jr.
Dude, that was like... I sent that to you in a text. Whenever I rewatch it, it just blows my mind that 96, Hollywood was like, Harry's our guy. He's a dual threat. He's a musician. He's an actor. He sucks at acting. He fucking sucks. And I remember he was on like all the morning shows. Like he was always promoting movies around that time. It was fucking wild.
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
A+.
Great. Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
A+.
Coming to America.
A.
Men in Black.
A.
Armageddon.
C-.
Oh my God, stop it.
Dude, fine, honestly, fine. A D. Because they have that fucking song.
Fucking Aerosmith, man. Apollo 13.
B.
The only scene I remember, I saw that for my birthday in theaters. The only scene I remember.
The guy's showing how sex works with the beer bottle.
Yes. Have I already told you? Have I already told you why that sticks
That's like
out?
all I remember.
I think it's Kevin Bacon who's like teaching another grown woman who's like, he's like,
They're
"I'll
all
take the
in their
spaceship."
I mean, it's a fine movie, right? But, you know. Whatever.
Fucking Ron Howard fucking pound sand. Spider-Man Homecoming.
I give it an A. That's like one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2. 2004.
B plus.
Yeah.
B plus. Yeah, B plus.
Spider-Man Far From Home. Also released on July 4th.
B plus.
B plus. All right. A League of Their Own.
A B.
All right. I think I would have gone a little higher. Tom Hanks is incredible in that.
I mean, he pees for a long time. You know?
So fucking funny. I'm joking. But, I mean, I remember like that was supposed to be super fucking funny, but when you say it the way you did, like fucking idiotic. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
A plus.
Dude, fucking unbelievable. I'm actually going to go download that tonight.
Not even joking. I want to watch it now.
Yeah, fucking incredible. Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
Die Hard, the original Die Hard is in my top 5 all time. Maybe top 3. That one's a step down. I'll give it a B minus.
I mean, the fact that they called it Die Harder is fucking insane.
I mean, that actually makes me want to give it a bump up. And the fact that John McClane is somehow in that situation again and ejects himself from a cockpit while the plane is parked in an explosion. But yeah, B minus.
All right, I'm gonna skip a bunch of these. I'm just
no, hit him.
You want me to go through all of these?
Yeah, I'm sure the fans love it.
That's what I was like. They must be so bad right now just listing movies. I mean, if you don't like it, basically the show's over. We finished the episode, right? This is just, if you're into this, just stick around. That way we can change the name of the show to fucking We List Movies. All right. The Transformers.
A C minus.
The Firm.
A C. I mean, it's fine.
The Devil
Fuck
Wears...
wants to watch The Firm.
The Devil Wears Prada, a real blockbuster for 4th of July.
I mean, I liked it. A B.
It's actually not a bad movie. I actually just saw it for the first time. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
A minus.
Okay, good job. Magic Mike XXL.
I mean, I have seen it. That's the sequel, right?
I've wanted to watch it.
I'm gonna give it a C. The first one's fine. I'll give it a C.
The Perfect Storm.
B minus.
Boomerang from 1992. I don't even know what that is.
Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've seen that.
Give it a B.
All right, fine. Big Trouble in Little China.
It's an A plus.
That is an A plus. That movie like changed my life as a kid. Like that movie I have such vivid memories of watching as a kid. War of the Worlds with our buddy Tom Cruise.
You know, I didn't love it, but I don't think it's as bad as I remember. So I'll just say C.
Yo, Boomerang Eddie Murphy has Robin Givens and Halle Berry fighting over him. What a fucking life. What a fucking life. Unbelievable. Some guys have all the luck. Okay, B for World of the Worlds. I don't care. Adventures in Babysitting.
A.
Inner Space. Don't know what that is.
A B.
You know what that is and have seen it.
Inner Space?
Yeah.
You've never seen Inner Space?
I don't think so.
Dude, who fucking directed it?
Joe Dante.
Joe Dante, the guy, yeah, from Gremlins and The Burbs.
Shit, this movie looks kind of tight.
Inner Space is great.
Okay, well, here's a real challenger to Inner Space. Like Mike.
Oh, the Bow Wow movie?
Bow Wow, baby.
I've never seen it.
It's got the Nets and the Sixers and the Rockets. No, not the Rockets. A made-up team called the Knights. I think we might have to watch that. Summer of Sam.
I hate Summer of Sam.
It's the most boring bullshit.
It sucks, man. I wanted to, I liked the premise of it, like life during the time that Son of Sam.
Leguizamo's in that too, right?
Yes.
It's literally the only reason I watched it. What a bummer. Take that shit personally. The Great Mouse Detective.
A B.
The Patriot.
Let's see.
Oh, this one makes me sick. This one's
That's
in
a
90.
Cannonball Kill.
This one comes out the same year as Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam is an infinitely better movie. Phenomenon.
Fucking Travolta, he has brain cancer.
Yo, why was Travolta in all these fucking movies
Because Pulp Fiction revitalized his career in
go
94.
when he's an angel,
Phenomenon. Yeah.
fucking Phenomenon. He's like, God, they were awful. Men in Black 2.
A B.
Men in Black 2 is not nearly as good as Men in Black.
Correct.
It actually really frustrates me. And the whole premise of bringing Agent K back, really fucking pisses me off. I don't know why. The fact that, half the movie's dedicated to just getting this guy back into character is, bothers the fuck out of me. And then at the end, he's like, yeah, I don't want to do this. And you're like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. We could have just fucking left you at the fucking post office, buddy. All right. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines.
Don't love it. C.
Public Enemies from 2009.
I give it a B+.
What is that one?
Michael Mann, Johnny Depp. It's about all the...
Oh, yeah.
gangsters.
Yeah, I hate Johnny Depp. All right. The Amazing Spider-Man, 2012.
A C.
That's Garfield? Is that his name?
Yeah. Yep.
What a dope. Despicable Me 2.
A C. I mean, they're not, terrible, but, the fucking minions, they gotta be stopped.
They don't speak English. They don't speak any language. They just fucking... Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, 1995. Was that in theaters?
I don't think I saw that.
That's crazy. Power Rangers, 1995. Damn. Good for them. All right. Here's a good one. Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde.
I do like it. A B.
I love the Legally Blonde movies. Here's one I'm curious about. Scary Movie 2. I
like it. James Woods as the preacher getting flies all over him.
I gotta download those again too, dude.
I hate James Woods.
Dude. I recently saw a clip. I forget which one of these. I don't think it was a scary movie. I think it was when they started changing the names of them. But the one where Charlie Sheen is doing the M. Night Shyamalan alien movie. Signs. And the fucking alien's sticking his finger in his mouth, and then another alien's like, I have to pee, and then piss starts shooting out of his fucking finger. And Charlie Sheen's like, it's idiotic scene. I laughed so hard. Anyway, Superman Returns, 2006.
Let's see. I love Superman, but all he does is lift an airplane like a couple times.
I by the way, I thought you said let's see. I didn't realize you said to see.
No,
so I was like waiting for you to think. I was like, man, he's really thinking hard about fucking Superman Returns. Hancock, a movie that could have been way better than it was.
Ooh. Well, if they went with the original script,
yeah, where he like
fucking kills people with his jizz. I'll give it a C. It wasn't terrible.
No. The Karate Kid Part 3.
A B.
About last night.
I didn't see that.
So, okay, so right now we're at like 41, and I'm reading them in highest to lowest right now. So we're going towards the end of the list.
Okay.
So, like some of the way they ranked these is absolutely idiotic. But the next one should be so much fucking higher. Son-in-Law, 1993.
Pauly Shore?
Yes.
I give it a B-.
Dude, that movie's a fucking classic. That movie goes ahead of a lot of this bullshit.
That's a Thanksgiving movie, isn't it? Takes place during Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. The Way Back from 2013. I don't even know what that is.
You know what? I saw that. I don't remember a thing about it. I'll give it a C.
Why do you know these movies? Transformers Dark of the Moon.
A D. Dude, Tina just sent me a text and it says Son-in-Law is great.
Dude, Son-in-Law and fucking Jury Duty are amazing movies. Amazing.
Jury Duty's great. In the Navy now?
In the Army now. That one I could do without, but it's still okay. I'd actually like to rewatch it before I give a verdict, but I remember it not being my favorite. Andy Dick's in that one, right?
Fucking Andy Dick.
I think that was my problem with it, too. I think he's his, like, buddy. He's, like, the sidekick in that one. All right. We're about to get through this. The Shadow. Hey, Joe, that's an F-. That movie fucking sucks.
Hold on. I'm getting confused with The Spirit and The Phantom.
They're all F-, Joe. They're all dog shit superhero movies. Dude, I remember, because, okay, so, like, you and me are kind of in the same vein, because, like, when they started, like, when Spider-Man came out, it blew my fucking mind. Like, I was finally, they finally fucking did it. Although we did have Batman, but, like, then that turned and it got, like,
right.
It wasn't representative of the comics, right? So when I saw, like, and the Phantom came out, like, fucking way earlier than those. Well, not earlier than Batman, but anyway, the Shadow comes out in 94. That's the one with Baldwin in it, I think.
Alec Baldwin, that's right, yeah.
And the Shadow comes out, and, like, the Shadow and the Phantom come out kind of around the same time, and, like, they are, like, a superhero movie, and you're like, oh, fuck, like, okay, like, I like superheroes, I love comics, maybe this is gonna be hitters. They're such boring dog shit fucking movies about just, like, and taking place in, like, the 30s and 40s, and they're like, say, and like, this fucking sucks. I hate everything about these fucking movies.
I did now it's all coming back. Like, I remember how hyped up that movie was. Like,
dude, they were
a throwback to the radio serials.
That's what it was, and they were like as if this was gonna, dude, like Burger King. I think Burger King was, like, jacking up the Phantom. I think they were the Phantom toys. And it was like, yeah, the Phantom's for kid. I've never seen a more boring movie in my fucking life. I've never seen a shittier superhero costume. Fuck Billy Zane in the fucking Phantom. This all sucks. It all sucks. The Shadow. The Shadow shoots a Tommy gun. That's his fucking superpower. He's a fucking maniac. Fucking kidding me? Fucking Shadow. Who knows? The Shadow knows. Okay. We're gonna rip off. Anyway, Baby's Day Out, 1994. James recently discovered this movie and thought it was the funniest movie he's ever seen.
It's just, dude. I remember the trailer like yesterday. Just babies like walking on like steel beams from like construction sites.
Yo, the premise of the movie is 3 mobsters that are chasing a baby and can never catch it. Dude, catching a baby might arguably be one of the easiest things on earth. Even if you gave it an enormous head start. But of course, like, the baby gets into a gorilla cage and they're like, okay, well, let's go get the baby. And then the gorilla beats the shit out of him. Classic shit, you know. I Love Trouble.
I don't remember that one.
That is, it's from 1994. It's Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte. It's a stinker.
Okay. Yeah, a D.
Larry Crown. 2001.
A C minus.
Wow, okay. License to Wed from 2007. I don't know what that
Wait, is that J-Lo?
It appears to be... No, this is a Mandy Moore, John Krasinski, Robin Williams affair.
I do not know this.
Oh, man, that's funny. The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle from 2000.
Robert De Niro's his best film. That's a fucking F.
That's a total F. Judge Dredd, 1995. I saw this at the drive-in theaters.
C minus.
I thought really highly of it as a kid. There was some nudity, I believe, and that was a big part of that reason. So, don't know if it's a good movie or not. I am the law. The Last Airbender.
I never watched that.
The Lone Ranger from 2013.
It's not good. A D.
That's Johnny Depp plays a Native American.
Johnny Depp
correct?
and Army Hammer. Yeah.
Good job. Good job. That is not that long. It is way too late for Johnny Depp to be playing that role. The BFG, 2016.
Didn't watch it.
Didn't see it. And then their very last on the list, which I just find hard to believe with Rocky and Bullwinkle on this list. The Wild Wild West, starring Will Smith.
I mean, it's an F. I don't know how recently you've seen it.
I haven't. I don't think I ever saw it. Is it really that fucking?
I saw it in theaters. Oh wait, dude, it's ridiculous. We should probably do it at some point. It might actually classify as horror. Kevin Kline's fucking spider machine.
Oh fuck, that's right. Remember South Park? South Park.
Yeah.
Carbon loves the Wild Wild West. Clyde Frog. Oh man, well, thanks guys. That was a fun episode.
I'm gonna piss my pants. I'm so glad.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Instagram.com/IHateHorror, IHateHorror.com. Join us over at Patreon. We're doing lots of fun bonus stuff, and our new watch along. Fuck. I don't want to make you piss your pants, but the watch along was so much fun. Thank you to everyone.
Good feedback. Glad I'm doing it that way.
Thanks so much for everyone for joining. It was a blast, dude. That was so much fucking fun. The watch along went super well and really enjoyed it. So we're going to be doing that again. So join over at patreon.com/IHateHorror. We're at facebook.com/IHateHorror. And that's about it. Joe, where can they find you?
Instagram, Boognish1985.
All right, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you, Joe. Thank you all for listening. And for Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.
Movies all fucking day.
Wanna play?
I'm gonna watch what I'm not supposed to watch. Fucking zombie getting sliced and diced. The monster.
Butcher.